Okay, what's going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of Energized. Today we have a very special guest on the show.
We have Bellator lightweight sensation and DJ extraordinaire, Paul Redmond. Paul, how are you getting on?
That's a bit much, isn't it?
Everyone gets a special one. Everyone gets a special introduction here, Redzer. You know, it's important. How's life treating you in isolation, bud?
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's like everyone else. Fucking just bored. Just bored. Washing the hands, staying at home. You know, I'm still training away in terms of get me runs in sort of around the area, cycling, few kettlebells and stuff. But it's not the same, you know. I'm really missing the MMA at the minute, but other than that, there's not much else you can do, you know.
Yeah. Are you still getting the DJing in as well?
Just at home. So I DJ for a nightclub in town, 22, and we've been doing some Saturday night live streams on Facebook and stuff like that. So they rotate the DJs sort of once a month. So I did one like a couple of weeks ago. Other than that, not really, you know.
Yeah. How are you finding that as well?
Yeah, just boring. It's a bit shit just playing to the wall in your room, you know. But I did it for many years before I got out into the club scene, so it's nothing new there, you know.
Yeah, we had another Bellator athlete and / DJ as well on the show, James Haskell.
Yeah.
Yeah, who would be a better DJ?
I don't know. What does he play? I don't know.
I'd say Trance, isn't it?
Trance is like fucking 10 years old, man. That it was.
I don't know. I didn't give out, like, you know, he's a heavyweight, like, you know.
I'd say you take him.
But here, Redmond, like, you're one of the most known fighters in around. Like, how did you get into the world of mixed martial arts?
I tried everything when I was younger. Football, Gaelic, the usual guy getting sent down by my mad and stuff. When I was a lot younger, you know, 10, 11 years of age. Couldn't kick snow off a rope, couldn't box bleeding eggs, couldn't do any of it. I wasn't the athletic person, and I was more of a pisshead right up until I was about 21 on the building sites and that, you know. And a friend of mine just gave me a few Ultimate Pride knockouts. Same with the UFC. They were just highlights of like Mirko Crow Cop head kicking fellas and Vandalay and all those guys just going through people. Yeah. And for whatever reason, I just like I wouldn't have even been a big sports fan back then. I wouldn't even have been a big fight fan back then. But for whatever reason, I just found myself watching it a lot, like a lot, and I enjoyed watching it. And then again, I even tried to do the gym and lift weights and all years ago, and it just wasn't for me. I just, you know, so it got to the point then where I was a little bit bleeding tubby, fucking, you know, eating the building site field, like you're talking like breakfast rolls and all, and going out on the rib the weekends. I just wasn't living healthy and just wanted to change something. And I ended up finding Team Rhino was about a 10-minute walk from my house. They used to be down in Kilbarrack Industrial Estate, and just went down on my own. I didn't really tell anybody that I was going down. I just wanted to do it for myself, just to lose a little bit of weight and get fit and stuff. Never thought I'd go fighting. Never thought I'd even get in competing. Again, it was just literally just to do something where it's a little bit different and you could get a good workout in. Yeah. And then it just sort of snowballed from there, really.
Yeah. How long were you there for until like you were like, right, this is something I'm going to stick at?
So, like that. I never threw a punch or anything like that. I didn't know how to throw a punch before I walked into Team Rhino. So from that day till now, I think it's about 12 and a half years. I think it was like 2008, and it was a week after my 22nd birthday. 11 and a half years. 2008 to now, and it'll be 12 years in October.
Yeah, no, yeah, but like, how long were you actually there for and then you were like, right, this is something I'm going to do. I'm going to stick at.
Years, like, so 6 months. I think we took my first fight at amateur. I got choked out unconscious in like 10 seconds of the first round. I was too heavy, so Andy says, look, you know, I was getting, you know, relatively okay for 6 months training in the gym, and Andy says, look, you're too heavy for it. I think I fought a middleweight was that weight. Yeah. So then I took my next fight down a couple of weeks, about 80 kilos. I fought Neil Seary's brother on last minute. I mean, they had good close friends. Like a guy pulled out the day of the fight, and Neil says, do you want to fight? And I said, yeah, of course, I'm not doing like couple of weeks training for it. Right, hang on, rings his brother. So we ended the fight that night. Nobody did. Neil doing it to his corner. That was it. That was what it was back then. It was just like, wait, you want to fight? Yeah, I know. It wasn't like, oh, I mean, record's gonna get this and this, and nobody thought about it like that, you know. So, yeah, a couple of months in, sorry, about a year and a half, I was sort of amateur. I took about 10 amateur fights, and then we went pro. But even then, it was just when they went pro, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going pro to be this or to be that, or it was just a change of rule set is all it was. It was just like you're fighting pro rules, and it's going to be a little bit tougher now, and you've got a few different things in the cage that you can use, the likes of elbows and stuff like that. Nobody really was doing heel hooks and all back then, you know. It was more to do with it was just a rule set, you know. And then I don't think it really hit me till it was something that I could do professionally at a serious level, till maybe I got into the Cage Warriors things. You know, I had 6 fights starting off pro, and I think I went 3-3, so a little bit of mixed sort of record. I went over to American Top Team to train for a month, and that was back in 2011. And I came back, and then we went on the run with Cage Warriors, and I think I went about 2.5, 3 years unbeaten, and then I got beat once in Cage Warriors, and then I had another fight, and then went to the UFC. So it was sort of halfway through that little stint in the Cage Warriors thing. It's like, you know, there was a little bit of momentum going. I was fighting quite regularly, you know, 4 or 5, maybe 6 times a year. I think 2 years running, I did 7 fights in a year, which is quite a lot, you know. So you don't really look at it when you're in the midst of it. Back then, you don't. It's just in hindsight now we can look back and say, well, it was in around that time, you know. But when you're in it, you're just like, oh, just get me another fight, just get me another fight, just get me another fight. You don't really think about it too much.
Yeah, you're just living it.
And Paul, when you were sort of in that Cage Warriors run, then obviously you got the UFC phone call. That was on short notice and against like an extraordinarily tough opponent in Mirsad Bektic at the time. Do you feel like you're almost hard done by in your UFC run?
I was hard done by on the weight cut. Whatever about the first fight, I know other people have taken, you know, short notice fights like that and cut similar weights. A guy I actually beat in Cage Warriors, Damian Brown, I think he took a short notice fight, cut something like 30 pounds as well. On relatively,
the Australian fella.
Yeah, and I mean, he had a couple of good wins there. I think he'd won one fight the night bonus then too. I know Stevie Ray took a fight on about 3 weeks now, similar sort of weight, 30 pounds. Rob Whiteford took it. So, you know, but all those guys got to fight at their normal weight. So Rob Whiteford had to cut the weight to featherweight, but he always competes at featherweight.
Yeah.
Stevie Ray got the call for lightweight, and he always competes at lightweight. Same with Damian Brown. I got a call, and I had to go to featherweight, which is 10 pounds more than I usually fight. That's why the cut was so extreme. If they had said lightweight, and we asked for lightweight, and they said no, you know, could we do a lightweight fight? And they says no, we want a featherweight. Can you make featherweight or not? And that was the option you had. Like,
that must have been terrible to get that phone call and be like, right, that's your goal to reach UFC, and then to get it at a lower weight class, you're like, oh, like
it was bittersweet, yeah.
Bittersweet, yeah.
I walk around about, you know, when I'm training, 80 kilos, not heavy, like not fat or that, like that. You know, I'd be quite lean at 80 kilos, and the 20-pound drop over the space of about 6 to 8 weeks is fine. It's doable. You know, all of us fighters, that's about what people are dropping. It's about 20 pounds. When you start reaching into the 30 pounds and going that extra 10, 15 pound, it's too much on the body. You know, I've seen a lot of fighters doing it. I've seen Ross Pearson doing it years ago. Looked horrible at it. That's just one off the top of my head. I certainly can't do it. I did from my second fight in the UFC. I think it was a 3-month camp. It was 12 weeks, and I got right down. I got my body fat down as low as it could go, 4%. I looked great on the scales, but I still had to take out 15 pounds of water out of me on the last 12 hours. I still had to dehydrate myself 7 kilos of water, which is 15 pounds. Like that's a lot of water.
Yeah.
So I took a big left hand off Rob, and obviously I hadn't rehydrated properly enough, and I just can't take the shots at 145, you know.
Yeah.
And you're unlucky as well that Mirsad Bektic's name isn't what it is now. You know what I mean? So like people didn't realize the actual caliber opponent you were going into fight on short notice as well at the lower weight class.
True, yeah. I know he's coming back on a loss to Josh Emmett. I think he got clipped in that fight. But I think he was beat twice after me. Josh Emmett and somebody else.
Elkins, the damage.
Yeah. That he had battered Elkins for 3 rounds, and Elkins just a tough
head kick.
Held in there, head kick, dropped them, swarmed them. But other than that, I think he's finished everybody apart from me in the UFC, inside the UFC cage. I do take a little bit of solace away from that, you know.
He was getting a massive push as well. But like looking back in hindsight, are you sort of like, maybe if I had to turn that opportunity down, I could have got a 155, or were you like, the opportunity was there, you have to take it?
So Siri had only been signed about 6 months. He was at the fight in Brad Pickett, and I think this was his second fight in the UFC for the Sweden card. So with that whole, just before I had got signed, or just before they'd actually approached me, I was helping Neil get ready for that fight regardless. For 3 years prior with Cage Warriors, they always did a New Year's Eve show down in the Helix. So it meant I'd always been cutting weight over the Christmas, always. So I hadn't had a Christmas dinner or a night out or went out with my friends in 3 years.
Yeah.
And that year, I remember Cage Warriors cancelling. I was getting ready for. There was meant to be a New Year's Eve show, and they told us all to get ready in November for the card. And then in the middle of December, I think it was, the show got cancelled. So I don't know, fight. I said, fuck it. There's no cards going on. I was signed to Cage Warriors. We knew they wouldn't be back till about February because everyone's going to be, having a while of a time over Christmas. So we went out and had a few drinks. My only saving factor for that was I was just still in the gym every day helping Neil for his fights, even though I was out having a couple of drinks or out doing whatever with my mates, you know. And it's the only way I was able to salvage some sort of cardio for that fight. Because I remember going back to work on the Monday, and I checked my weight on the Tuesday, and I was 84 kilos. And I says, I'd better start getting my weight down a little bit now. And on the Thursday, I checked it that morning. I think I was 82.5 kilos. And that's when the call came in to make 66 in 12 days.
That's mad, Paul. I still don't know how fighters managed to cut the weight so well, but look, at the end of the day, fair play to you.
It's not that we don't cut it well. That's the thing. Everybody thinks, or I used to tell people that story, you know, anytime they asked, or if anybody asked me, I'd say it to them, and it's horrific. It really is. For that 2 weeks, it was probably the worst 2 weeks in my life. Finished off with the most horrific day I probably ever experienced on this earth. I'm not trying to, blow smoke up anyone's ass, but saying that, I mean, realistically, we had got the call, and you're happy and all that you've got, the UFC or a big organization like that wants you to fight them. You've obviously made a name for yourself. You've done really good things to get to that point. Then it's short-lived by about 60 seconds. Then you say, well, I do have to cut. If I hadn't made the weight, I missed weight by 3 pounds. If I hadn't made the weight, it would have been 36 or 37 pounds all in to cut in 12 days. That's nearly 40 pounds. And that's mental. For that whole 2 weeks, all I ate was like 2 tiny meals a day of maybe a half a fillet of fish, some broccoli, and maybe an avocado twice a day for 2 weeks, while you're still trying to run maybe 10, 15K that morning, a sparring session in the afternoon, and maybe a fitness class that evening, or jiu-jitsu or whatever, for 2 weeks, and then followed by another hour of skipping to get your weight down on 2 or 3 small meals. Then it comes to the last day of, we had got to the UFC. We'd arrived that week in Sweden, me and Neil and Andy and stuff. And when you arrive to the fighter hotel, they usually put you on a scale just to see how far you're off your weighing, see where you're at. So I remember one of the guys had said, jump up in the scale there, Neil. I think Neil was about 8 pounds over for 125. Yeah, go ahead, Neil. Right, Paul, up you get. And I was 77.8 kilos on the Wednesday, and I had to be 66 dead on Friday afternoon.
Fucking hell.
I said 77. that's not too bad. And writes down 155. And Neil says, no, he's going to 145. And the man just looked at me and says, what the fuck? You know, so that was that. And then like the last day, I remember, so you obviously have to cut your food and your water out 24 hours beforehand. A lot of fighters do that just to sort of drain whatever's left in your body.
Yeah.
But I remember sitting in the sauna for about 4 or 5 hours on the Friday. In, out. And then I started the sauna at about 9 a.m. on the Friday morning. And I didn't get out until 5 o'clock that evening.
So you didn't have a hotel room? That was your room?
That was my room. I think I didn't get any sleep that night because I was so dehydrated going to bed. And I think of the day of the weigh-ins, I think I only lost 5 pounds in 10, 11, 12, about 7 hours.
That's crazy.
All you had left was the organs in your body, a bit of blood and whatever hair you had in your head.
That's what I'm saying. You know, I've heard fighters cutting to the extreme. That was past the extreme. You know, I remember hearing John Lineker used to be like that. Every fight camp, they'd be carrying him in and out the sauna, and at one point there'd be blood. It'd be pissing blood basically because there's no water left in your. When you cut weight, the water comes from everywhere, your brain, your kidneys, your blood, so your blood thickens up. So the reason why there's deaths when people cut weight is your blood gets so thick, your heart can't pump it around because it's not liquid. It's not as liquid as water. It gets so thick and your heart just starts racing, and that's why a lot of people have heart attacks when they're cutting weight because of that. That's the reason for it. So that's how bad it gets, you know.
Yeah. What about like comparing that weight cut to like weight cuts for your most recent fights? I know there are two different weights, but have you learned certain techniques to help you drop the weight easier now over time?
No, I tried at the start when I was first starting to cut weight to 70 kilos. I had no idea what I was doing. Not many people, like, cutting weight is a science. It's a fine science of, you can fuck it up fairly easy. You know, if you're about 2-3 weeks out from a fight and you're weight cutting it and everything's sort of measured out and down to the last gram and stuff like that. If you go out and say have a big meal, like I don't know, only one meal can fuck your whole weight cut up. Like it's down to the wire. So for years I'd be trying to read and Google stuff on what's better about cutting weight on athletes. I would read a lot, and I've tried every diet known to man just to see if the weight come down. Low carb, high carb, keto, Atkins. The list goes fucking on. Counting calories, and the basic thing is eat 90% right, clean all the time, and that 10% is like a cheat meal, a meal on a Sunday. When you're in camp, you eliminate the cheat meal and maybe pull some food back closer to the fight. That's it. You just got to live the lifestyle. Don't go partying too much and just look after yourself, really, and the rest will look after itself. Because obviously we're in the gym 2-3 times a day, 6 days a week. If you're not milling the food, the weight will come down naturally enough, you know. But if you're abusing your body, it's just taxing. It really is.
Do you find that difficult to stay very strict in your diet? Because obviously you work in building as well, and you're a DJ, so you're out late as well.
Yeah, I find if you don't prep, or if you fail to prepare to fail, basically. So when I'm in fight camp at the minute now, I've sort of, I wouldn't say eased up. Like, I like eating clean, I like feeling good. I don't like feeling shit, but like, say in the evening I'll have 2 bottles of beer, no problem. When I'm sitting chilling watching the TV, or I don't really do that too often, but we're in lockdown. I can't get out of the house, you know. So I may as well have a bottle of beer to cheer myself up at the, like I said, like one of the cycles we did there the other day, I think we cycled out to Bray.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
And, you know, up around Houghton and stuff. I think it was 85k all in. And obviously you're going to have a beer or two after that, you know. But like, other than that, no, again, I like eating clean. I look after what I eat and stuff like that. So I used to hate it. I used to, you know, put a piece of broccoli near my mouth. Like, for fuck's sake, get that shit away. No, I would, like, and I'd be just frustrated with myself. But then, the more you do it, the more you enjoy feeling good and that type of stuff.
Yeah. And just to finish up on the weight cutting there, if someone actually videos your weight cut for Sweden, would that have been reminiscent? I don't know if you saw at the time Darren Till did his weight cut or Cyborg did her weight cut.
I'd say it would probably be like the Cyborg one. Probably.
Few tears.
Yeah, there was no tears left in me. I was that dry.
You would have been happy to cry to lose that water weight.
I'd have been crying early, you know. I just remember we were in the sauna, and it was to that point where we had about a half an hour before we had to go to the bus to the scales. And Andy and Neil and stuff are dragging me in, like literally, I'm like that over the two of them, getting dragged in and out of the sauna. And when you come out of the sauna, you got to wrap yourself in towels over the head and stuff like that. So they covered me in towels, like fucking 20 towels. And all you could see was this out of my face, like my eyes. And there was some, like it was an open sort of sauna gym room where you know, it was women and men could sort of knock around. But I just remember this woman coming in and she was saying, "Oh my God, what is wrong with him?" And Neil turned around to her and says, no, he's just cutting weight for a boxing match." "What? When is he fighting?" "He's not fighting anywhere." He says, "He's fighting tomorrow. He's not ready. He's fit to go to the hospital and just stuff." And that's how bad it was, you know. So it's just a thing people don't see. They just see us on the fight now, walking out healthy. You know, it's horrific, and it's a stupid practice anyway. Like, look at boxers; they don't cut too much weight. They're not. Some sort of organizations make them have a re-weigh-in clause. You're not allowed to be more than 15 pounds the next day or whatever. MMA needs to get some sort of handle on it. To be fair though, the guys at Bellator, they have a guy called Mike Mazzulli, and he's from the head commission in America somewhere. I can't think of the name of it. And he comes in, he tells all the fighters, "Look, stop fucking cutting weight. Don't be stupid. You'll fight better at the next weight up." The problem with that is, if I make the jump up the welterweight, the guys are monsters. So unless we're all forced to move up a weight category, naturally, I would put on much better performances if I could fight at 77 kilos. I think I did like Polaris at 77 kilos. Obviously not the same, but it's a 10-minute match. You weigh in the day before. I dieted right down, stood on the scales, went straight to Nando's with Andy's, felt great after it. I think I went up about 2 kilos, you know, just from like eating. No big deal, you know. So I think if they move the whole roster up a weight class, if you fight at lightweight, now you fight at welter. If you fight at welter, now you're in middleweight. No big deal. They're just not cutting the weight. You're still fighting the same guys, the same way one did, you know.
Yeah. Before we get into your Bellator career, obviously you're training under Andy Ryan. Can you just tell us a few things like how important he's been to your career as well? Because he's one of the biggest characters in Irish MMA.
Yeah, the daddy of MMA, as we call him.
Only for Andy, I don't think I would have pushed myself to sort of the limits that I got to. Or you know, when you're coming up, when you're young, and like I took MMA up I took combat sports, would say, up very late in my career, in my life. Basically, I only started on a week after my 22nd birthday, and I was brutal. I was fucking shite, like, you know. Be like anyone trying a new sport, let's be honest about it. But I just kept at it and at it and at it. But for about a year, I used to be smoking joints, going down to the gym, do my workout, and I'd have like joints made for walking home. You'd be smoking away, and you'd be still going out on the weekend. And I didn't know what an athlete lifestyle was to live. He obviously lived it since he's a young age, because I think he's been doing judo since he's about 4 or 5 years of age. So he lived that athlete lifestyle all his life. And I didn't know what it was. Basically, I thought once you're in the gym, you're training. Everything else, you can do whatever the fuck you want. So, and then even after some of my fights, you would think, well, I take the foot off here, I'll go mad for a few weeks. And he wouldn't let you do that, you know. So I don't think if I wasn't being coached by Andy, I don't think I would have pushed myself to the places that I got. And I'll always be thankful for that as well, you know.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Well, right, we have to get into your Bellator career, right? I remember you were fighting Bellator there. It was a couple of events ago, right? The first one, yeah.
I think it was Bellator was 217 when you fought Charlie Leary, no?
No, I done one before that, and absolutely nobody seen it. So it was about 3 years ago. It was a Bellator one.
Bellator, as we called it.
Bellator, yeah. So I had fought. Bama were asking me to fight Ryan Scope over in the UK for the Bama belt, and they were putting on the Bama in Dublin on whatever date, and I says, no problem with the fight, perfect, but let's do it in Dublin. I don't want to miss out on that. But they wanted Scope because obviously it was in Newcastle. Scope's a big deal over there.
Yeah.
Sort of, everyone wanted it in their own way, you know. So we left it, and then Bama gave us a release to fight on KSW. They were here the week before. So I did the fight for KSW, and then it was Bama Bellator. Bellator was 2 weeks after KSW. I did the fight for KSW down in the Tree Arena, and then I was taking a week off. It was a grand fight, no injuries, nothing from it. It was good. I got the win. I took a week off, and then on that week off, they rang Andy and they said, "Does Reds want to fight on Bellator next week?" So I said, "Fuck it, let's do it." You know, my weight hadn't gone back up too much. I'd asked for a 73 catch weight. They said no problem, and that was that. But usually Bellator would be on second because obviously it's a big US promotion.
Yeah, it will be.
And for whatever reason, Bellator ended up going first.
Yes.
I was first fight at the Bellator card, which meant I was first fight the whole night. And everyone was saying, "What the fuck is Red doing? Fighting first fight?"
Was this the AJ McKee Brian Moore fight?
Yeah.
I remember that.
I thought it was fucking brilliant. There wasn't too many people there. I went in, got my win, kicked back with a few beers for the rest of the fight card. Watched everyone fight. It was great.
Yeah, but there's a story I have to tell. It was Bellator 217, and you like Ross would be the main guy. Like he's fountain of knowledge with the MMA stuff, but he couldn't go. So
is this when you go and interview him? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Redzy, you probably don't remember this, but me and Barry always do the show together, right? And you're part of Energized royalty, right? This is my favorite interview that I've never been part of on Energized. Barry kicks off. He's interviewing you. He goes,
can I not tell the story?
I hope you don't mind, but I'm actually a bit nervous. Right?
Why are you robbing the story?
Because I listened to it.
Flashback, right? Right, what happened was, Ross is usually the guy who does all the interview stuff, but like he couldn't go, so like I was like, right, I'll go. And then like I was mad nervous. Was
this before or after the fight?
This before. Right. So then I went over and started interviewing you. And then I go, how are you doing? You're like, oh, I'm doing grand. How are you? And I go, I'm actually a bit nervous. And you go, what the fuck are you nervous for? I'm the one fighting. I was like, yeah, I'm only joking. But like, ever since that, then we had the conversation. It's back. I think it's like near episode 100 if people want to watch it back. But then I remember at the very, very end, I asked you, what are you going to have? What are you going to eat after your fight? And you said you're going to have pancakes with your niece. Then you went out, won, said you're injured, still won, and went for the pancakes with your niece. And then I was like, ever since then, I was like, Redzer, what a legend, man, what a nice guy. But like that story, like that was out on the podcast, and like I was like, I'm only messing it up nerves. Absolutely,
I love it.
He hasn't been allowed to interview anyone ever since.
I've embarrassed him.
What's that to be fucking nervous about? You're only talking to like one of the lads from Dublin. You know what I mean?
But I've never done it before. But now it was semi-pro. But Redzer, you obviously now with Bellator, like. People these days are saying, why isn't Redzer on the main card? Why isn't Redzer like one of the headliners? And then I saw you're in an interview and you're like, you don't give a fucking shit about that stuff.
I do. Look, to say I don't would be an understatement. I do, of course I do. It's not. Look, nobody fighting on undercards, whatever. It is what it is. I just see it as a fight.
Yeah.
The reason why I say that is, I'm not going to kick up foot. If they don't want to if nobody wants to put me on the main spot or the top card or whatever, so be it.
Yeah. Are you just like, here, I don't care, and then you're going to like try and prove it that you should be?
No, it's like I don't need to prove it because like you were saying, a lot of my fights are entertaining. I don't fight to steal a win by jab, move. I go for it every time, and if that means that I get beat in the process of doing it, it is what it is. But I would rather be an entertaining fighter than one that gets all the wins, really boring, and not ones that people want to see. It's great that anytime they rock into town, everybody kicks up So it means people like to see me. So
yeah, you're one of the most liked fighters in Ireland, man. Like,
so like
100%.
if people want to see me fight, they will fight. So maybe it's either the way I see it is they're doing it because of two reasons. A, to fill up the place for the undercard, to make it busy for the undercard or whatever. Or it could be that I'm not that popular and maybe I don't draw, or maybe that I don't draw shit for the main card. I don't know, but you know.
Or
Reza,
see,
can I
you could be DJing later on that night, you know.
It could be.
Reza, I actually think the honest truth is if you trained at SPG under John Kavanagh, you get a better rub of the green on card positions. I think SPG and John Kavanagh has so much pull when Bellator comes to Dublin that the SPG fighters get the rub of the card green. We had Miles Price on earlier in the week, and he was sort of feeling that way. Do you ever feel like the SPG guys are treated better than everyone else?
Look, it is what it is. John's over there doing his thing with SPG or whatever. So if he's in with SPG, if he's in with Bellator, and he's the main guy for them, and he's got a big stable of fighters, they're obviously going to pander to whatever John wants. Again, I'm not going to start kicking up folks saying, "Oh, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting that." Just shoot the fuck up, fight, and then do the business, you know.
Yeah, as you said with Miles Price as well. As like myself and Ross follow the fight business, and we love when the Irish lads do well. It'd just be we just want all the Irish fighters to do well. And certain people in particular, like yourself, who's like a lot of the people come to the arena to see you. So like, don't say they don't, because they're all going to the after party with you. But it'd be great if like certain people, like if everyone got to push, you know what I mean? Because it just helps the Irish MMA scene itself.
But the only thing that sort of it's frustrating, would say, is the novice amateurs. I don't know them when I talk to them and all that. So I would say the guys that are 0-0, 0-1, all the way up to maybe 5 fights, when they start getting placements way up the card ahead of guys with 25 pro fights.
Yeah.
And I've fought in all the head organizations and all that shit.
You fought everywhere, Reza. Literally.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I have a lot of experience there. So I think it makes you're gonna, and you know what way I fight. So when people with relatively no experience get bumped up ahead of you, or you know, then it just becomes frustrating. And I think it's some people say the same thing. Maybe they don't, but for me, as a sort of seasoned pro, will say, who's been around a long time doing it, it gets a little bit frustrating.
Yeah, it seems like just from the outside looking in, because it seems that if you go to the Bellator, if you go train in SPG, then you have a perfect opportunity and career path going to Bellator, which is great. If you want to make money and do that stuff, that's great. But it seems like if you're in Team Rhino or if you're in Team KF and you want to get to the UFC, the SPG is not the path, really. I don't know. It just seems like certain.
Look, it's different. I think being affiliated with a gym is only going to get you so far.
100%.
If you can't back it up as a fighter, forget about it. So, if you're in Bellator and you're looking to get to the top of the Bellator division and get the strap, and it's a world strap, don't make no.
No, 100%, 100%.
It's a legitimate world title, and the guys up at that level are animals. If you're looking to get to that and you're going to Bellator route and you're not as good as what you think, be it whatever gym you're ever in, you're not, like, even if you get the shot, you're going to get beat or you're going to get found out. And it's the same if you go to fucking Cage Warriors and whatever. The cream always goes to the top, and that's that. It doesn't matter what gym you're from or what gym you're out. You might get a couple of opportunities on the way, we'll say, but if you're not good enough, you'll be found out. And it's a fucking tough sport to find out if you're good enough or not.
100%. Hopefully whoever's listening now, they understand that, like, we just want all the Irish fighters to do well. And
of course.
Absolutely.
Especially everyone knows that, you know, everyone likes knows the Irish look after themselves. They all want everyone to do well and stuff like that. There's just some guys are here and some guys are there when it, you know, should be the other way around. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's just because you're fucking legends as well. Like, and you've been everywhere, and people like are like, you're one of the main people are going to the arena for. So it's just like, I feel like you should get a better rub of the green. You know, I want to see you on that poster on the Dart station. Yeah, no, but like, is that the DJ from 22?
That's the one. That's what they say. The cock and bull and kill lock.
Tell us this, there. You fought in Cage Warriors, KSW, Bellator, UFC. Which promotion did you think was Obama as well? Which promotion do you think was actually the best for being a fighter, being organised, being looked after?
Do you know what? They're all quite similar, really. You know, I tell you who's a shout of cunts. The UFC. That's they're wankers. That's just from a fighter. Some of the people that we met in the UFC, they're lovely. The background staff now, they're all lovely. But like that. In on a couple of weeks' notice. Give on the weigh-ins, not weight that you fight at. Same the second one. And they knew we fight at lightweight. They don't give a fuck. They're just a fucking cash machine, you know. They'll literally give anybody a call, anybody, anywhere around the world, and they know they'll get that signature on the contract.
Yes, because there's their chance.
At UFC, you hear that and you think, oh, I'll do that. But the times are changing. You know, people are wising up to all this, to all of it, and people are going where the money's at. We don't give a fuck what you say. Like I used to think at the start when I was fighting for just in hall shows, even when I was a pro, stuff like that. I was just doing it just to do it. I never really thought of money in the contract. I never thought I'd get to this level, you know, where I'm at.
Yeah.
But then if you are at that level and you're after spending 10 years doing it, well, then that's exactly what it comes down to is money. That's it. It's the more money you can get, go for it.
Yeah.
Because it's a short career.
It's prize fighting.
Yeah, so to tell you the truth, the contract I'm on now with Bellator is the best contract I've been throughout all of them.
Congrats. You deserve it.
Yeah. I think I've got 2 fights left on this. Or after my next fight, I think we renegotiate. I usually do it after the third fight, so we'll see where. But I'm happy with Bellator. I really am. I like the guys over there. I like the way they do things, and they push it a little bit on their social medias. They don't ask too much. They leave it alone to train. You know, and I like that. I thought KSW were great. I thought Cage Warrior staff brilliant. Half the guys at Bama are with Bellator, so you know it's one of those. So, but they all look. The only time you ever see the guys is the last week when it's fight week. So, and everyone's super nice down at Bellator as well. So
they're really, really nice. That's the thing. That's the thing. I think people that like sort of jump on and watch MMA, they sort of just think there's only UFC, and then probably they just follow because they saw Conor. But now, like you can see, the lads making really good money in Bellator, whereas they probably be getting half of that if they're in the UFC. So I mean, from us to them, we're just like you get the bread while you can, you know.
But and then. Even with KSW do their own thing, which I actually think is it's really good. They don't oversell a card. It's 9 fights. You go, they put on a big, huge production. The staff at KSW are great. Even the top guys, Martin and I can't think of the other guys' name. I asked them. I think I had 1 fight left on my contract, maybe 2, and I said to them, I said, look, Bellator are doing this European division. I think I can make a little bit more money going there. Not a whole lot more, but it's something. The guys just says, if that's what you want to do, we'll release you from their contract. No problems whatsoever. They didn't have to do that. They could have left me sitting on the shelf for another year. I think I had left on my contract. Not fought me, not do anything. I would have been a year out. They didn't. They let me go. They wished me well. And you know, to me, that's just super.
That's a much better way of doing business. You know what I mean? It makes everyone happier at the end of the day.
And they said to me, if you want to back over, you know, you will have gladly take it again.
Paul, I just want to get into the Bellator lightweight division. Yeah. When we had Brian Moore on, we brought up the Bellator bantamweight Grand Prix, and think I'll run one because there is no bantamweight champion at the moment. Just because everyone's going to be chomping at the bit to get back into it as soon as this lockdown's over. Do you think a Bellator lightweight Grand Prix would be worth putting on as well? And maybe the winner then fights Pitbull because he's sort of tied up in the featherweight Grand Prix.
Yeah, I think that's the only way to do it. I think you couldn't have Pitbull in it again because I think maybe he would have been burnt out if he's doing 2 fucking Grand Prix back to back. You know, I think Pitbull at lightweight, you know, he does hit hard and stuff like that. But just holding up the 2 belts, it's hard. You know, you are holding up one whole division for. Like, nobody can get that strap in the next fucking whatever. So he beats Pedro. So what's that? Is that the semi-finals that's going down?
That's a quarter final. And then
so if he beats Pedro, he's got another 2 fights ahead of him. in that featherweight division. Then he'd probably take about another 4 or 5 months off to let himself heal up from any injuries that he's going through from that rigorous sort of fight schedule. So that's the fucking. There's nobody getting a belt in the lightweight division for the next year, you know. So you could certainly do that. You could certainly do a full Grand Prix to the belt, but there's no belt being put inside it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I the spot. Yeah, that's cool.
100%. I just think with the lockdown and everyone wanting to fight, everyone's going to want to fight as soon as the lockdown's over. It makes perfect sense to, you know, have the brackets set up, ready to rock.
Yeah,
and
100%.
ready we go. And you definitely be interested in actually being in that bracket, I assume.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing with the lockdown and stuff is healing from injuries. All these fighters are going to be healing from injuries too. They're going to be fucking. I've had niggles for years, and you know, you fight with them. I've had some serious injuries then as well, broken leg, torn ligaments and stuff like that. That's grand. Or the torn rotator cuff, that's good as gold now. So I think a lot of it, this bit of time off is all the fighters just will be coming into like camp, no injuries, no niggles, no nothing. So it's going to be good.
Yeah, and everyone's going to be back 100%.
Absolutely.
Fight's going to be unreal.
Back. Who do you want, Fredzer?
I never really look at it like that, because the thing with it is what way are they going to do it? Are they going to give it someone out of the European division for the European series, or are they going to take someone over there again from the States, the way they did with George on last minute? Then Gertz had just got beat by
Fungar got beat by Primus as well, didn't he?
Yeah, so like, I don't know what way they're going to do it. So if they want me to do something in the European division, let's do that. If they want me to do something in America, if they want me to go to America, I'll do that, because I've got the US visa as well. So I'm happy to go over stateside as well. They pushed me to do the US visa and stuff like that, so I can do that if they want. What
about if you did this idea? You put 8 European fighters and you put them in one bracket, and 8 North American fighters, put them in a bracket. The winner fights each other, and then the winner fights Pitbull.
Yeah, let's do it.
Jeez, I should get a job with Bellator now.
To Scott Coker, he'd probably jump on it. He loves that shit.
He does love that shit, yeah. But
yeah, all the bantamweights love the bantamweight idea.
Yeah, I mean, look, if there's a belt there for grabs, why not? You know, that should be. It's an easy call, you know, especially if they're already doing that Grand Prix style. I think everybody likes it because it's something to follow over the space of about 9 months, a year. You know, it's pretty easy to follow. But yeah, it's an easy decision to do the bantamweight one. It's just I mean, it makes sense for a number 1 contender spot with the lightweight. Excuse me, the lightweight bracket. But it's I know.
Yeah, it'd be a perfect.
I'm happy to do it anyways.
Yeah, it'd be a perfect time to start it at Bellator Dublin in October or September, October. Yeah.
But here's one for you, actually. Do you think it'll go ahead in October?
I'm going to say yes. Yeah. I think there's no big events till September, and I think October they'll be able to roll out. Maybe you might not be able to pull whatever it is, 13,000, 14,000 people in there, but you might be able to get 5,000 people in there and have it.
See, I think they actually lose. Where they put the cage, they lose about 2,000 or 3,000. So they can only fit 10 in it anyways when the cage is there. You know that whole floor space?
Yeah.
They lose a lot. So they can only fit 10 in it. So if they're doing 5, they have to open up the whole arena and have spaced seating, you know, right the way around. Not a bad idea for the 5,000, you know. It'd be still great. And that's what Bama used to do down there. They only ever did 3.5 maybe. But yeah, I'd certainly be up for 5,000 down in the trade arena.
Yeah, is that when in the UFC they used to bring the octagon a bit more into the middle of the floor, didn't they? And then they used to have seating behind as well, didn't they?
Seating on the back, yeah.
But I suppose Bellator have like that more of it's almost like a WWE style entrance with the Titantron.
Titantron, yeah.
Yeah. I think I prefer like the Bellator like Titantron. I think it's like. Well, we always sit in press row, so it's like we always have the best seats in the house, so it's great. But I think before the Titantron, I'm just like, it makes the fighters look cooler as they come out. It does. Like I'm like, but also if you don't know a fighter and then they come out on the Titantron, you're like, right, that looks cooler, no?
Yeah. Come out with 2 cans of Bud Light, 316 on the shirt.
Oh, I love it.
You couldn't get better than old Titantron.
Listen, the next time I'm down there and I win me fight, you better have 2 Bud Light to show to me at the top of the cage.
the big red machine. But Redmond, man, you're an absolute legend. Thanks a million for coming on the show.
Anytime,
yeah, we're gonna actually we 100% have to do it again before your next fight. But Ross, anything else to say before we wrap things up?
No, guys, thanks a million for listening. If you do enjoy the show, like, share, subscribe, and as always,
stay energized.
Stay energized.
Stay energized.